2010 called. They said they want their Call of Duty back. GAMERViCE back with another episode. Here with Hank, Kevin here, and of course, we had to bring this news to you guys this week. We got some Diablo news, we got some Call of Duty news, but first, Hank, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. You know, can't complain. We back in the studio trying to deliver the good content people want to see. Yeah. Don't forget to let us know in the comments what you don't like, what you do like, you know, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And listen, we're just going to get right to it because this news just blows my mind. Call of Duty, now with all this Activision, Blizzard, Microsoft, looks like they're going to finally be able to acquire Activision Blizzard, which means they'll have Call of Duty, they'll have Diablo, they'll have all those titles. In the midst of all this, Activision decides that they're going to fix, or was it Microsoft? One of them decides that they're going to end up fixing the old Call of Duty servers, the 2010 Black Ops Call of Duty servers. Why they do this, I have no idea, but people flock to it.
Yes, they did.
And to me, it just seems like it's a clear sign that your current game has some things that people miss or they don't like, to the point where they're like, oh, this 13-year-old game that they brought the servers back online for, you know, now we're going to play this game. So it just makes no sense to me. It just really doesn't make no sense to me.
Yeah, like, so bringing COD back doesn't make sense to you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Bringing the old Call of Duty makes no sense, but it's like crazy because, like you're saying, it just brought back so much energy towards COD, right? Warzone has not been doing well, and now Call of Duty decides to do this, and it actually is bringing them some life back. Clearly, gamers are. It just seems like, I guess, when you go on Twitter or Reddit, it just seems like, right, it got so much attention. Mm-hmm. But then it makes you really wonder, is it really getting attention like that? Is that just what we see on our end? Because all these companies, right, their community leads, all these people, they have to be pulling statistics, right? And you would think they should be trying to do what the consumer wants, right? And just time and time again, it just feels like they never cater to the consumer, which is literally it's a gamer. You're making games for people to play. Hence, why wouldn't you listen to the gamers? Hence, why did you get away from the old Call of Duties that everyone loved? Why did you change movement so much? Why is it, right? But then clearly, sometimes the argument does come up, and I do think there's honestly maybe a 50-50 split. Like, it seems that way, but then maybe just the way we kind of see information individually is you kind of are going to see the information you want to see. You know what I mean? So maybe it just feels like that many more people want these old CODs back. But clearly it sparked interest. Clearly the servers are back online, whether it's only on Xbox or not, I don't know. But it's bringing people back to the old way, and people are excited about it.
Yeah, and for kind of a good reason. I mean, if you look at where Warzone is right now with this whole crossover with the boys.
Oh man, here we go.
So they've got, I think there's three. It's Homelander, Black Noir, and Starlight. You can play. I've seen streamers play and have Homelander shoot up in the sky, shoot some laser beams at you, or like shoot up in the sky, land on the roof next to you, take you out. I mean, there's clips. If you go on Twitter, there's clips of guys doing it to the point where they're getting like 50, 60 kills, and they're soloing quad, and they're getting 50, 60 kills. That's insane to me.
Yeah. But
also, what the hell is the point of having these superheroes in this game at this point? Like, I know at one point we talked about, I think it was last week, we were talking about PlayStation having IPs that could maybe take on COD, now that most likely Microsoft is going to acquire Call of Duty, and then more than likely down the road, eventually
gonna strip it.
They're gonna strip it. They're gonna rename it. They're gonna do whatever, to the point where there's a good chance that at some point down the road, Sony doesn't have Call of Duty anymore, right?
Yeah.
So Sony has SOCOM. We talked about last week. They have SOCOM. They have Killzone. and they have Resistance. And when I brought up Resistance last week, you were like, yeah, but Resistance has like that super ability element to it. And they're trying to stick more to like the military type of a game. But now fast forward to today, today, and now you got superheroes in the game. I don't even understand what that makes it doesn't make any sense to me at all. It doesn't make any sense. I feel like they've just lost their direction. Yeah.
No, I have to agree. I don't understand why they took this route. My thing is, if you've been doing something your way and it was been successful, and again, this is why I'm getting mad now that it's coming to me in my head while I'm talking about it. It is the highest selling game.
Yeah.
Every single year.
Every year.
How much money are you really losing or gaining, do you think, for doing what you're doing? If you just give people what they want, or what it seems like they want Call of Duty with Call of Duty. They don't want superhero. That's not what Call of Duty is. If I want that, I'll go play Overwatch. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah.
If I wanted the ability aspect of a shooter, there's games that came out, new IP, or like that's the IP that they built around, and that's what they do. So why is Call of Duty trying? Like, my point is, right? There's gamers that just like straight up classic war type FPS, like classic army style, boom, realism to the sense of like, yeah, I got my frag grenades, smokes, bangs, all whatever it is, stun grenade, regular armor, no armor, headshots, or one-shot kills, whatever. If they start getting away from it, then who's doing it? You know what I mean? There are the few that do it, and then there's, your indies that do it, and then they get a little love. But at the end of the day, even with little indie games or not big developers, those, as much as we want them to catch on, and I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Logan, okay? Warframe, right? Warface is the game that comes to mind that kind of is a CSGO style console game.
Yeah.
Finally, kind of bringing like CSGO style to console. They just couldn't get like hit reg right. The hit reg was terrible. He will tell you it was great because the man was ready to die on that hill. But he just, for whatever reason, that game didn't succeed. As much as, like, for example, one person clearly loved it, like Logan loved it, right? There's going to be that with all these indie games or small developer games, like things like that.
Yeah.
But they're never going to catch the big, like, the whole gamer FPS like community. It's just not going to happen. So that's what I'm saying. Like, as far as AAA studios go, if Call of Duty starts doing this, who's left to start? I mean, and play, for example, there are people that can do it, but clearly people kind of stopped doing it because Call of Duty kind of took over. Right, so then people gave up their games, or they stopped. Like, maybe that's a reason for no SOCOM. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know the reasoning for any of these games stopping, but usually it's because a competitor kind of is like, man, we're not doing nothing.
Well, Call of Duty was like the monopoly, right? They had that control over that specific aspect of a multiplayer game where everybody flocked to it. That's why you didn't like Battlefield. They had to go the route of huge 128 versus 128.
Yeah,
like that was their thing. And then
which Battlefield? I'm sorry. Battlefield's different because they do all out warfare. Exactly. Like that's their thing.
Yeah.
But they need to just throw in the modes that are like 6v6 too, because I love the way Battlefield plays. Like, in terms of shooting and mechanic. Like, I've been playing it again recently because, Jesus, God knows that was a terrible release. But
it was.
Apparently, like, if they drop this one, their Battlefield's still going to continue. So they just can't drop the ball if they make a new one. But back to what you were saying.
Yeah. So now there's companies like Ubisoft making X Defiant specifically because they're using their other IPs to be able to integrate it into this FPS shooter kind of game. And now you have classes, and that's going to be their target. That's going to be their niche, because they couldn't just go the straight FPS route, the straight war route, because Call of Duty had such a big control over it. Now Call of Duty is screwing things up, putting superheroes in the game. So I don't understand what's going on anymore. I don't understand why they don't just target their audience.
Oh, Kevin's tight. It doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. Like, these companies start to try and reach out too much.
Yeah.
X Defiant has a great chance to, I guess it's the movement. They still got to work on the gunplay, but I guess the slower movement, tighter, like whatever, the maps, it has more of that old Call of Duty feel, but then it has like the Black Ops, I want to say 2, where it's slight abilities because it has, the Ubisoft IP agents from like all their IPs or whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of has a slight ability. Like Black Ops 2 did that. It was a popular Call of Duty game. But yeah, like thinking about the old Modern Warfare, like all those OG Call of Duty, like Call of Duty 3, whatever, or I don't know which one's the good one or bad one before these COD people come out here killing me. But yeah, I guess that's the only element. They'll still have abilities in there, but at least it's still like people just want a good shooter that doesn't get too crazy and start throwing superheroes in the mix. You know what I mean? And it's still technically missing with X Defiant. But as far, I don't know, does COD bringing these old games back online, does it hurt X Defiant when it comes out? Or will it make people want to play something that plays like that but's new? So, you know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see.
I think at the end of the day, everybody is gonna always gravitate towards new. I think that's just how gaming works. That's just how technology works. Like you just always want to see what's the newest thing, what's the shiniest thing. It's the new thing on the block. You got to try it out. And if you get your friends to play it, then all the better. And Ubisoft, to their credit, they're doing the right thing, I think, by integrating all their other IPs, because that just means people are going to recognize all those other IPs and be like a little bit more interested in the game.
Oh yeah, they play and they're like, oh, I never played that game. Yeah, let me go back and play that game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Speaking of catering to your audience and Call of Duty not doing it, it just must be the trend with like big rich companies, like, right? Because it kind of reminds me of another game that's popular right now, and that is Diablo 4.
Yep.
Right? You had the formula to hack and slash ARPG, dungeon crawler, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You guys were the first ones. And now you got people like Path of Exile, and I guess Last Epoch is trying to slide in there.
Yeah.
Cramping your, like, literally having your OG fans fall in love, but maybe that's where you don't care about the OG fans, and you're just so saturated with it just comes down to greed, and it has to. And at the same time, I get it. There's a lot of people, as far as developers go, like that job's got to be hard. But there's still, I guess, whoever's in charge telling them to do the dumb shit that they're doing. Because I do think developers like love their job, like the people that work on the games. Like, I give shout out to them. Like, that cannot be easy. That's just no joke. My thing is, though, I just feel like you're doing pointless work sometimes. Like, it's hard work.
Yeah.
But you're not catering to your original, but you're just catering to the masses and making it's a lot of microtransactions is, I think, causing this. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem, and I guess this goes to investors. Again, not necessarily the developers, and that's why then you get like these small indie games, that what kind of games it is. It's like these small development companies that come up, and it just feels like a better game that connects more to the gamers, and it's more passion because it's like they almost did it because they didn't care about the money. Yeah, now our big honchos, they're just like not getting it done because they're leaving so much out of games because they're just trying to cater to everyone or kids now, like because they know so many kids have consoles, like they make games easy that aren't supposed to be easy, or I don't know.
I mean, I will say yes. I think most developers, a majority of them, are passionate about what they do, but they're not the ones directing the ship. Exactly. There's somebody else telling them, giving them advice or guidance as to how the game maybe should be played. That's my assumption on it.
Yeah.
But they are still passionate about the craft that they do. To your point, Diablo 4, I was thinking about this. The first half of the year, there's only 2 games that are huge anticipated games the first half of the year. The first one is Zelda, and the second one is Diablo 4. How do you not make sure that your game is on point for release? How many patches did we go through? How many nerfs did we go through? How many times did you have to hear them talk about all the things that they had to fix? Like, for instance, you have a druid
Yep.
And for the longest time, I don't even know. It must have been the first
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
The
right?
loot table was broken.
Yeah. The loot table was broken. So for the first 3 weeks, you as a one of the main classes of the game could not get your uniques. Nope. How does that make any sense that you didn't figure that shit out before?
Yeah, and as far, they even gave us the beta with increased loot drops. I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just so lost right now. I had a train of thought and I kind of lost it. But Diablo, now that they're starting, now they seem to be like, well, listen, we're going to connect with our community a lot more. And they're having the campfire chats. Like they dropped season 1. And this is also why we're kind of having this discussion. It's because they dropped season 1 patch. Right. They changed so much crap. Boom. Got hit with so much flack.
Yeah.
Backtrack. And it's just like, what? Like, why? What was the point? If you knew, you should have known, know who's playing your game. And it's kind of what's funny is like now you hit season 1, the game's been out for a month. The so-called people you wanted to sell it to, and I guess kind of reaching all audiences.
Yeah.
Realistic, you want to reach those so-called all audiences, but the so-called all audience are the ones that are done playing the game with him because they don't stick to anything. Like they kind of just play everything.
Right.
So your real audience is your OGs. And they're the ones that are giving feedback. So now they're like, oh, this wasn't received well. And they're making changes. But, that's what was my thought. You were talking about the nerfs real quick, though. It's just like, here's my thing with developers. I swear. And they've been saying it every time in these campfire chats. But, I need the real explanation. If there's a developer out there watching it, please help somebody understand. It's not even hate. How does something get nerfed so quickly? In a hot fix, bro, the nerfs come out so fast.
Right.
But a buff or something that's been waiting, that takes a lot more work than it takes 10 to 14 days. It's going to take 2 weeks. Now, at this point, it's crazy to me. I don't get it. You nerf things that are kind of being exploited or whatever, for whatever reason. I get it. Urgent. So then... Don't say, though, it was just an easy fix. Just say you nerd, because it's like you put all your resources towards it once you have people exploiting the game. But they literally always walk around that, and it's just annoying. Just come out and be honest with that, because when you're not honest about it now, it just makes me feel like, yo, you guys just are fucking with us. I don't know.
It's funny that you mentioned it like that, because I really think for some reason, the priority is let's make the game harder for everybody than let's make the game easier for the casuals. Let's make it harder for everybody, because they cater to the 1%. They cater to those streamers that have 8 hours a day to be able to play it. That's why they got to level 100. So, so
3 days.
I shouldn't say so easily. They played a
grind.
Shit ton.
That's what they do.
But they see that and they go, the game must have been too easy. Let's nerf stuff. And now everybody gets affected.
Yeah, but it's we're playing casually at a slow pace or a more casual pace. You know what I mean? And it's just they ruined the experience. Once those guys got to 100, then they nerfed XP, and it was just poof. Now it feels like it's well, they ruined it. Realistically, how about you look at how long they played? That's all that's really all they should be doing. Yeah. Look how long they play. That's it. And then equate that to somebody. They got to level 100 in 3 days. Oh, you mean the 3 days that they play 20 hours each? 60 hours? Okay, who's playing 60 hours that fast casually? It's going to take me 2 months. Realistically, maybe. And 2 months, that's for someone who plays games more frequently. Yeah. But then there's real casuals that really play a lot less.
Right.
You can't enjoy... It's you cram this stuff in and you take out the joy. But speaking of catering to your old fans, I know you, my friend, I'm getting loud here. Sorry. Yeah. Wanted to know where sets were. Where?
Yeah.
Rune
sets,
words
runes,
right? It just seems like Diablo. Where's this? The Diablo 2, Diablo 3. Where's their sets? The rune words from Diablo 2. I don't know.
Bring back the stuff that people enjoyed using. It gives the game more replayability.
Yeah.
Because now you can experiment more with all these different sets and the set bonuses and all that stuff. The rune words, and then there's other stuff like the cow level. Listen, Blizzard, for the love of God, we know there's a cow level. Stop trying to play us like there is no cow level. Stop releasing this game is released already. Just give us the ability to enter the cow level, however that may be, whether you have to drop more hints or it's behind something and you have to activate it, whatever the case is. It's clearly there. Just let us play it. Because to our point, there are casual players who now not only have to suffer through the nerf, they're never going to experience something like that, which I'm sure if they ever heard an OG Diablo player talk about, that's one of the things that we talk about is like the sacred cow level. And they're never going to be able to experience it because they're never going to wait that long to let you activate it in season 6. Like, just activate it now.
Yo, y'all heard the man. Kevin's not playing Blizzard.
Man.
Drop the cow level now.
Right now.
But I just feel like what these games do, as far as you talk about the cow level, is it's kind of like iPhones.
Yeah.
Right? These developers are like Apple. Apple is on iPhone 14 now. It just came out, or it's about to come out, 15, whatever.
Yes, it's on 14.
It's on 14. But I know damn well they know whatever it is that they're doing for iPhone 16.
Right.
It's why consumer, you need them to buy it. You're going to keep dropping something new every year, or else why give the best possible thing, cap yourself out technologically, and then be stalemated for 4 more years until you come up with a new thing, right? It's a lot of stuff works like this, and it's honestly that's where we suffer the most right there. That is the most consumer aggressive style, and every company does it, literally. Yeah. So I get it, but my point is, season 1, right? They dropped this, and they have season 2 already kind of ready. They've told us that before the game came out. It's like, how are you going to get them out because it takes so long to develop things, right? Now they're listening to the community, but they already have my thing is rune words. They can say what they're saying. But I just feel like that's going to be, whether it's season 6 or something, it might be 2 years from now.
Yeah.
But they're going to drop it at some, they're just and now we're talking about an old feature though. Like That's an old thing that it's like you have the framework for that already. You guys invented it. Like you just took it away from a new game. So then you're going to give it back to us, which is still crazy. Then you even have sets, right? They took that away, but bring it back in a new season. Like that's going to happen. But what's sad is that's old stuff that we actually know exists. But I'm saying even that they have new shit. They have to. They just don't want to give it to us.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. It's like they want to make a big release like, ooh, look at this new shiny thing we released. You mean the thing that you definitely had in your back pocket forever, but you guys have just been milking us?
Yeah.
Yeah. So much for live service game. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. You know who's killing the game? Fortnite's killing the game. I hate to say.
Fortnite's doing amazing, man.
Yeah.
Fortnite with that creative stuff is really popped off since they introduced it.
Everyone's just trying to beef. That's what it is. It's just like, and it was like, nah. It's just they did that. Like that was unique, new. Like I'm sorry, nobody had that model. Like whether it was somebody that left from PUBG, and that's how the whole battle royale started. I didn't know if there was a whole lawsuit with that or something, because I think it was someone that was working for PUBG. PUBG was technically an H1Z1, right? These were the originals of the battle royales, but nobody was doing what Fortnite was doing. Yeah. Like art style, what's funny is it's got at least me speaking, someone's going to say, no, it's actually good. I don't know. It's got some of the worst shooting mechanics because it's such random spray. The bloom is random. Everything the
bloom is pretty bad.
It's bad the further you are, but you gotta really tap it.
But see that type of game, that type of art style with its cartoony, even your point, the gun mechanic is kind of cartoony. The bloom is kind of everywhere with a lot of the shot. That type of game makes sense where you have crossover stuff like. They had John Wick, they had Star Wars, they had Dragon Ball Z, I think I heard they're gonna do Futurama or whatever. Obviously the stuff is stupid. It has nothing to do with any type of gun mechanic. It's just skins on a character for the most part. But that makes sense. That's the type of game where that makes sense. Where it's just like fun. It's much more lighthearted.
Fortnite's Fortnite though. Yeah. They started doing that, so that's what's expected. I expect a crazy Kamehameha. Why I can't even say Kamehameha. I expect Goku out here shooting energy balls in one season, and then it's gone. Then we get something else. Okay, because it has been that from the start.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
So you can't hate it.
Exactly. But Warzone is
Diablo, COD. you got one thing in common, and that's Activision. Activision, get your shit together, even though you just got bought for $69 million. I don't even know. It's like now we're ripping them, but it's like, again, we told you we weren't fanboys, right? We just wanted the deal to go through because the company paid for the company. Like, Sony was just saying, yeah. I'm excited what's to come.
Exactly. How can you not be excited for a company that's worth what? Like, I think Microsoft's worth like $2 trillion, something close to that. For that type of company with that type of money to invest into a company that has a lot of IPs, not only COD, not only Blizzard, Diablo, but they have all these other IPs, all these older IPs.
Oh yeah, well that's I was gonna get into that. Yeah, last point here.
So I'm excited in that aspect because there are certain IPs that have been around for a long time. We haven't seen them in a long time, and I think it's time that we get them back, especially now with this Activision Blizzard acquisition. So I think. There's a few off the top of my head, like Guitar Hero, which would be, I think, insane in 2024, 25, whatever, like multiplayer aspect. I think that would be cool. I think I'm pretty excited for StarCraft. I can't remember the last StarCraft game that came out. I think it was StarCraft 3. I can't remember when the last time it came out. That game, I would be excited to see. Their game. There's a lot of games.
You already know what I'm going to say. Warcraft, man. Bring me back Warcraft.
Warcraft was... Yeah.
You want StarCraft, I want Warcraft. That game was... I don't know. Like, that's memory. Like, that's nostalgia.
Nostalgia,
me, man.
Yeah.
Play with the brothers, play with you back in the day, you know. That was definitely cool trying to build and then go fight each other. Like, yo... That game is lit. Like I can't.
And it was a fun game. Like even the villagers, they were like, ready to build.
Right, yeah, no, it's so good, so good. Like you bring that back, or even StarCraft. Like I really didn't dabble with that. I guess it was more the space version of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they're essentially the same. Bring one back. I'm gonna go with Warcraft, but
I'd be okay with that. Yeah.
Can we get that like updated 2020? Like imagine that 2025, like a legit from back at like I'm talking about now graphical updates, new like think about now the way they can push features with technology.
And don't do this stupid San Andreas remake bullshit. Don't do this remaster bullshit that Rockstar has been doing lately. Don't do that. I'm talking about take your time. Actually, if you're gonna remake Warcraft 3,
no,
remake it legit. Like
I want Warcraft 4. I don't want no remakes.
Okay, fine.
If it's
gonna be remake it like Square Enix does Final Fantasy VII. That shit is a real remake, or like Capcom does the Resident Evils. That shit's real remakes. But don't do this Rockstar crap. That's a bad look. That's horrible. I don't even know why they wasted their time. That's such a bad look.
Oh man. Well, Activision, we put a lot of heat on you today in this episode.
We did. I feel a little bad.
Honestly, at the end of the day, I'm playing Diablo. Like I probably put 3 hours in before we started recording today. Like I'm gonna play, but we gonna criticize because we want to hold you guys accountable.
Exactly.
We want better games.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I don't know, man. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget to comment, like, share the video. All your folks out there, but better yet, don't forget GAMERViCE, bringing you all the vice you need. Kevin?
I think that's how you end it. Every episode, you should just be like, GAMERViCE, giving you the vice you need. And we out.
There you have it. See you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.